Hey, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Grown with Gabby, where we talk about getting to the bag in a multitude of ways. From securing free money opportunities like scholarships and grants, to being a savvy side hustler who can put some extra bread in their pocket at any given time. Today, I'm going to be reacting to my feature on CNBC Make It, Millenial Money. Now, technically, I'm not a millennial, I'm a Gen Zer because I'm 22 years old, but here we are. I'm like cheesing right now because so many people have texted me about seeing my episode, seeing my article, like the feature go live, and they're super proud of me, which is very affirming because this is actually kind of a scary process. And it's scary because I let y'all in my business. Like, as a Scorpio, I am a pretty private person, but becoming a social media influencer and also a business owner has showed me the merit of letting people in your business sometimes. It's a great way. Through vulnerability, we can connect and often educate and just give people a different perspective in life. So I'm super excited to live react to this feature with y'all. Of course, I remember the process of like having them come to my house and us filming all across the city for literally 8-9 hours throughout the day. But I haven't watched the final product, so we're going to be doing that live together. I have seen some of y'all's comments. Being in this industry has just taught me people are always going to have something to say. People are always going to share their opinion as if it's warranted or as if it's important. And you just have to be proud of what you're putting out into the atmosphere because people are going to comment on it anyway. Like, some people were talking about my nails, some people were talking about my shades, my outfits. Like, y'all mad I looked cute in the episode. Without further ado, let's tap into this episode and see what it's talking about.
Right before I chose which college I was going to attend, I had earned over $1.8 million in scholarships. And that's a combination of full ride offers as well as different outside scholarship opportunities. By the time that I had graduated from Princeton 4 years later, I earned over $2 million in scholarships.
Yes, so as we can see, I am a 7-figure scholarship winner who also managed to save over $100,000 in her bank account before graduating from college. But more on that in the rest of the episode. I look good coming out here.
I'm Gabriella Carter, a 22-year-old recent graduate from Princeton University who earned over $2 million in scholarships. I recently moved to New York City where I made $133,000 last year.
Okay, also, these numbers, like where it says I made $45K for my corporate job and $87K for my earnings, that's after taxes. Like, some people in the comments, I guess they don't know that when you make money, you get taxed on it. But yeah, that's the case. So later in the video, you'll see my actual salary from my former corporate job, which was more than $45K, but it's really expensive to live. And coming from a state like Florida, it was mind-boggling how much money is taken out of your salary just for taxes, especially in New York City. I think it's like 30%. Wild.
I was originally born in Jamaica. I spent majority of my life growing up in London. My parents definitely struggled a lot when they were in Jamaica, which is why they were so adamant about moving us wherever we needed to be in the world so that we can have the best opportunities possible. I think I did always want to go to college, even though I didn't necessarily know what that process looked like at all, because I'm the first person in my family to go to college. So I spent a lot of time on YouTube and Google just figuring out ways to help me pay for college, and that's how I stumbled upon scholarships. In the beginning, I didn't have as much success as I would like, and rejection is not the easiest pill to swallow. I remember getting rejected to 30 different opportunities back to back. It was demoralizing. But right when I was about to give up, I won a $20,000 scholarship from the Coca-Cola Foundation. So
that was such a pivotal turning point for me in my scholarship journey. And I know a lot of you watching this think that applying to scholarships and grants and any other types of opportunities is just a waste of time if you're not immediately seeing the fruits of your labor. But you have to remember that in that season where you are experiencing rejection, you're also being prepared for your ultimate success if you just continue being disciplined and diligent throughout that journey. Each time I submitted an application, yeah, I may not have won, but I got better at applying for scholarships. I got better at articulating my career goals. I got better about telling the story about who I am so I could be more convincing and more confident and efficient further down the line as I continue to apply to scholarships number 35, 40, 100, you know? You just don't want to give up before you even give yourself a chance to experience success. And that's why I'm here to help you guys secure scholarship success through Growing with Gabby on my social media platforms, but also one-on-one scholarship consultations, my resume revamp guide that I have on my website, my scholarship ebooks, as well as some other really exciting events, workshops, and courses that I have planned for you guys. So make sure that you're tapped into GabriellaCarter.com and at Growing with Gabby across all platforms, including this one. So subscribe.
And once I got that win, it really upped my confidence again. And because I had applied to so many scholarships before, even though I got rejected, my skills were getting better at writing and articulating my story. So the more scholarships I applied to, the better applications I was able to submit and ultimately have more success down the line.
It's a numbers game.
I ended up ultimately choosing to attend Princeton University because of the prestige. I was becoming increasingly aware of how the Ivy League could open a lot of doors that you may not necessarily have access to at other schools.
One point about that. You know what is so crazy though? A lot of people say that they got a full ride to an Ivy League school. You cannot get a full ride to a need-based institution. I talk about this more in my other video, which I'll link up here, that gets into the topic of scholarship displacement. But if you go to a school that is need-based, which means that they give out financial aid solely on the basis of your financial need, you're not getting a full ride based off merit. You're getting a full ride based off of your income and what FAFSA says about your financial situation. So people who are getting a full ride are either at or below a certain income threshold, so they get a full ride to that need-based school. And then you have, this means that there's a disproportionate number of higher income earners at those schools. Like at Ivy League schools, you have people who are descending from billionaires, millionaires, or just are very, very well off. And it's really, really hard for people in the middle class to end up going to these schools because you don't have enough money, because you aren't at the poverty line or below it. So you definitely can't afford to pay something for college, but it's not the tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes that these schools expect from you without feeling the financial repercussions of it and having to make severe sacrifices. The middle class definitely kind of does get finessed in the higher education system when we're talking about need-based schools. So I'm really glad that I had outside scholarships to help cushion the other costs that I had associated with college.
Fortunately, I did not have to stress about money while I was in school. I keep me a few jobs all the time. So I definitely had like 3 different jobs on campus. But on top of that, I received a lot of money in scholarship disbursements, which is basically like when you get a refund check that can go into your bank account. So by the time I had graduated, I was able to save over 6 figures in my bank account, which really gave me a lot of good cushioning to prepare for adulthood.
Hey y'all, this is exactly why when Don't Play With It by Lola Brooke comes on, I go mute when she says, I don't even got me 100 bands. Cause baby, I'm not speaking that over my life. The tongue is powerful. I'm really glad that scholarships has helped to put me in this position where I can be building my wealth and working towards financial freedom. But it's not enough to just have the money. You have to have a plan for how you're going to leverage this money and allow that money to work for you. Because I don't want to be working for money the rest of my life. And I'm sure you don't either. And that's why you're here with Growing with Gabby, so that we can get this all situated and get to the bag.
My main goals with the money that I'm saving and investing are definitely to acquire property as soon as possible. I feel like that's a really great way to diversify the assets that I have and income generating opportunities. And then outside of that, I just want to give myself a good head start and cushioning to be able to do what I want. Like if I want to go travel, I don't want to have to be worried about that.
And I am going to Jamaica soon. Yep.
Or if I wanted to start a different business venture. I feel like money opens up a lot of doors to be able to explore your dreams and have really unique experiences. So that's what pushes me to save and invest as much as possible. I moved to New York City in July of 2022. My apartment is worth $4,500 a month, and I live with 2 other roommates, and my share of the rent is $1,245. Majority of that food is eating out, but I definitely do cook sometimes. Some of those meals are business dinners, and others are for more social activities where I'm going out to eat with friends.
Yeah, some people in the comments were like, oh, that's unrealistic. Everybody spends so much more money on food. Like, it was really interesting to see people hypothesizing about like how much I spend on everything. Like CNBC vetted all of my financial statements and stuff, and this is how much I spent. I know how much I spend. I know how much I swipe my card. So why are you telling me there's no way that somebody's spending $368 a month on food? Like if I said that's what it is, that's what it is. I'm still trying to figure out what grocery shopping versus eating out and just eating looks like for me in general. It's my first year not being in college, so I'm still figuring out a lot about what taking care of myself and my space looks like, and especially how that translates financially. So
I definitely do try to take the train when I can, but a significant portion of that budget comes from taking Ubers and Lyfts around the city.
yeah, one thing about me, I'm gonna take an Uber. I try to take the train to my destination and then Uber back, but where I live is so far from where I go out to socialize and party. It's just like I'm not taking the train back at 3 in the morning because it's just something weird going on all the time, and the trains are not running reliably. Like, and trust me, I've tried many times. I'd rather just allocate in my budget for that peace of mind and safety.
Month, I allocate around $5,000 to $10,000 towards saving and investing. I save majority of my money in a high yield savings account, whereas another portion of that money goes towards my brokerage account. I definitely do plan to retire early. And when I say that I want to retire early, that doesn't mean that I don't plan to do work. I just don't want to have to be working to make a living. And I want my work to be more related to my passions.
Like, imagine. I just think so much about my parents and the people I've grown up like with as mentors or just as adults in my life. They are pushing 60, even 70 years old sometimes, waking up early in the morning, not coming back till late in the evening, doing strenuous work while they're fantasizing about being elsewhere, or they're fantasizing about doing something else that makes their heart feel alive. I just don't want to force myself to work for money for the rest of my life. Like, that is a very depressing and demoralizing experience. And unfortunately, it's one of the side effects of being in the capitalist system, because there have to be losers and there have to be winners here. And of course, the system is set up so that majority of us are losers in this game. Majority of us are running on this hamster wheel where you're getting up and you're going to work, and you, by the time you get home, you're so depleted you don't want to socialize. You don't have the time or the freedom to take a vacation when you want to, and you need this job that's restricting you and really not bringing you happiness because it's paying your bills. But I just really don't want that for myself. So I'm trying to find a way to marry my passions with my God-given talents so that I can have the life that I want while also leaving a positive impact in this world. And that's what Growing with Gabby has empowered me to do by helping students secure scholarship success while also connecting businesses and companies who have that capital and opportunities to students who are looking for those type of things.
My first job out of college was working as a global marketing analyst. I felt comfortable enough to quit my 9 to 5 job once I was on a trajectory to earn more money than I had the previous year. When I was at my corporate job, I was making $90,000 a year and working 50 hours a week. But now through my business, I'm on track to make $200K this year, and I typically work between 30 to 40 hours a week. If you need help with your scholarship essays, keep watching this video because I'm about to show you how you can see actual essays that won thousands of dollars. Quitting my job was liberating, but very scary as well, especially since I'm pretty young and very early in my corporate career. If I had graduated with student loan debt, I think it would have been harder to leave my corporate job because at the end of the day, debt doesn't have to deter you from making the decisions that are best for you in your life, but it definitely can make some decisions like that harder.
Mm-hmm. Having student loan debt is not fun. It's not fun at all. I have some friends who are paying off $30,000, $40,000 worth. And when you have that weighing over your head and your psyche and that interest continues to accumulate in a way that goes against your favor, it can be super tough for you to spend your money without feeling guilty because you have this large debt.
Growing with Gabby existed offline before it ever existed online. I remember when we had our scholarship banquet at my high school, I had to get up at least 20 times to collect my different awards. That made people very curious about how I was able to have scholarship success. So in my free time, I would just be telling people like different tips and free games. The influx of inquiries for people to learn about scholarships for me kind of got overwhelming. So I decided to look to social media as like the great equalizer so that I could just disseminate information whenever I found it, and people from all across the world can really benefit from my expertise. I started monetizing pretty organically. Honestly, I didn't even know people were really making money like that from posting online until I was approached with an opportunity from a major retailer, and they paid me $2,500 to share about a scholarship opportunity that they had. And once that happened, I was like, okay, I see the value in the information that I'm offering. There are definitely
that was a boss shot.
Being your own boss and running a business as well, especially if you're doing it in terms of content creation. The first that comes to mind is the fact that sometimes your clients won't pay you on time. On top of that, running a business can be really strenuous because even though you're technically not working, your brain is always on since you continue to ideate and think about ways that you can elevate your products, offer more value to your audience, and just become a better business person. And then outside of that, especially being an entrepreneur so young, it can really be hard to find other people who are in the same sphere as you.
That's real.
Growing with Gabby is definitely going to be expanding, which is why I'm super excited about my show. You should tune in when it comes out. But aside from that, I feel like there's always going to be a really big need for people to be able to go to college, either debt-free or at least be able to afford it. So I definitely will be continuing to provide value in that space because that's a part of my testimony. But I do want to create more content and just offer more experiences that talk about money at large, because figuring out how to earn money through side hustles or other ventures as an adult is also really hard, but something that I can help people figure out as well. And then on top of that, I want to be collaborating more directly with different schools across the nation to offer scholarship workshops and really just pour into students.
Oh, it looks so cute. Well, shout out to the CNBC Make It team who worked with me throughout this entire process. They were all super kind. I had a great time filming this. I had a great time reacting to it. I was kind of anxious because people in the comments always gonna have something to say, and it just kind of made me scared because, of course, people made those backhanded comments about affirmative action or just saying that, projecting their insecurities and fears onto me, basically. Which has nothing to do with me. Like, my success does not take away from your own, which is why it's always boggles my mind when people say that I'm taking away opportunities from other people because I won a lot of scholarships. If you apply for the scholarship and they think that you're a great candidate, they're going to choose you as a winner. If they don't, they didn't think you were the best candidate. And that's okay. We're not all going to win at everything in life. You just have to continue. I got 30 no's before I got one yes. And even when I continued to get really big yeses, like from Coca-Cola, from the Jackie Robinson Foundation, from the Simon Youth Foundation, I got lots of no's too. So you can't live your life trying to give everybody else opportunities before you get opportunities yourself. I saw something I wanted. I applied the pressure that I needed. I was diligent. I shot my shot. Sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't. I learned along the way. Now I have Grown with Gabby, where I'm putting you guys on game 2. Thank you guys for tuning into this super exciting episode with me. It was great embarking on this journey with y'all. Can't believe I let y'all in my business and in my pockets like that, but I'm in my bag, y'all. And I'm just continuing to learn more about money and life because I'm only 22. Like, the only way to go is up from here. So if y'all want to also get to the bag and you appreciate authentic content, stick with me across platforms. Be sure to subscribe and like this video if you like what you saw. Check out my CNBC Make It videos. Show me some love over there because some of the people in the comments talking a little crazy, but I appreciate all the love that I've gotten over there too. Like, it has been so great to have people reach out to me, say that I'm inspiring their daughters and their sons and their aunts and uncles, and I'm just like, whoa, like, God put me on this earth to be a vessel, and I'm feeling super glad that my testimony is so strong at this age, and like, it's only going to continue. So yeah, y'all stick along with me for this journey because we're all going to get to the bag together and continue to grow and evolve. That's why this is called Growing with Gabby. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Bye.